We're right now between two atmospheric rivers. The first one walloped the region, weakening trees and power lines everywhere across the Lower Mainland and Vancouver Island. And right now we're in the middle of it. And then there's one coming in on Sunday, which is tomorrow. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to see if we can get back safely. What is up, geocachers? This is Keats94 and welcome to another episode of Keats94’s Geocaching Adventures here on YouTube. I am in Victoria, British Columbia. BC's capital city, and we're going to do some geocaching. So today will be mostly Adventure Lab stages, so I'll show you some of those cool locations and also some virtuals and of course some physical caches as well. So the next adventure takes us to Fisherman's Wharf. This is a floating village of primarily floating houses, but there's also some businesses and shops to check out here. Right here on Victoria Harbour, so really great little spot. There is a great adventure lab here called Fisherman's Wharf. Now, see that blue sky behind us right now? Well, it's not going to last for very long. So I'm on Vancouver Island right now, and as many of you know, I live on the mainland of British Columbia. So being on Vancouver Island can be a little bit risky when we're out geocaching. Give it a few more hours and we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. This might be an adventure, a harrowing adventure of me getting back to the mainland by Monday. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, back here on Two Coffees at Ogden Point. Shout out to Land Monkey. This was the site of his first YouTube episode 10 years ago. Congratulations, by the way. I am at a geocache site that, let this be a lesson, by the way. Log your finds as soon as you can online, because I'm actually not sure. I think I actually already found this one in the last time I was here. It's a little embarrassing. I don't know. I feel like I've been here. Well, I had been here before, but sometimes there are new renditions of geocaches. But I noticed that this cache was hidden in 2021, which is odd because I feel like I have been here since then. Let's find this thing. Maybe it's a brand new GC code. I don't know, but I feel like I've been here before and found the same container. Let this be a lesson. Log your finds online as soon as you can, because sometimes you forget. Without giving away too much of the location, I know you know that there's a hedge behind me here, or beside me, but here's the container. Checked inside. Of course I wrote my name in the logbook for today, but curious. I think I may have already found this one. One of the great things about geolocation games like geocaching is that through coordinates, they take you to sometimes an important location. This Adventure Lab is part of the Trans-Canada Highway Adventure Lab series, which is a series of geocaches that goes across the country from Victoria to St. John's, Newfoundland. I remember corresponding with the Adventure Lab owner as he wanted to showcase a lot of the culturally historic places for the Lekwungen speaking people, as well as the Songhees, First Nations people that lived here for thousands of years. What I love about geocaching and geolocation games is it takes you to some culturally interesting places as well. And so what this geocacher did is he put Adventure Lab locations in areas that were culturally significant. So I'm right now at Ogden Point, and Ogden Point was a culturally significant place for the Lekwungen people. The James Bay neighborhood is the kind of neighborhood in Victoria that would have a lot of little free libraries, and that is exactly the case. This is another little free library, and there's 2 adventure labs that feature these cool locations. So in that case, you got basically 10 little free libraries to visit here in James Bay. don't see every day. Check out the tree here. Whole bunch of cups just hanging around. Here I am standing at the historic Mile Zero, where Terry Fox would have ended his Marathon of Hope had he made it all the way. As many Canadians know, he had to end his run from St. John's, Newfoundland in Thunder Bay, Ontario. So this is a pretty significant spot for many people, and for many Canadians who find themselves in Victoria and want to pay their respects and of course find a geocache nearby and tackle some adventure labs. But this is a pretty important spot for many people, and including myself as a fellow Canadian citizen. Because we are in British Columbia's capital city, this is a replica of a speaker's chair. Typically what you'd see in Westminster Parliament would be the speaker sitting basically between the two aisles, the two desks of rows, one side being the government and the other side being the opposition. So because we're in British Columbia's capital city, this is what you're gonna see. Very beautiful building on the inside. Can't go in today, but maybe for another episode. And folks, Halloween is coming up. Actually, by the time this video has gone live, Halloween has already happened. But the date of filming is the 29th of October. And I'm standing in a cemetery, and a lot of these graves are really old. Let's take a look. So we have a gravestone. This person died in 1865. What else do we have here? This person was aged 62 years. Died in 1868, and this is what I find really interesting. So this person was 37 years old, 8 months and 6 days, died in Victoria. So either he was killed in an accident, or that was the life expectancy back then. And fun fact, the marked stone above was laid by the Right Honourable Sir Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of Great Britain, in the year 1929. Okay folks, super rare shot of me actually inside. So I decided I would spend the night in Victoria. I'm staying at the Arbutus Inn, and it is going to be interesting because tomorrow is when the storm is supposed to be in full swing. The reason why I decided to spend the night here is because it's a long way back, and I just want to try to rest and recoup and get some more adventure lab stages, and all the more reason to try to find a few tomorrow, albeit in the rain. But it's okay. I'm a hardy individual. Now would be a great time for you to think about subscribing down below, either side of your screen here where I'm at. I enjoy making videos, and I want to thank you very much for coming along on this adventure, and more adventures to come as we explore Victoria. So, I'm doing some late night adventure labs, and I am in Victoria's Chinatown, which is Canada's oldest Chinatown. Starting to do a Chinatown adventure lab, and it is sequential, but all the stages are very close together, so that's good. Let's see if we can succeed. I'll let you know. The challenging part with this is I use my phone as my videography as well as my GPS, so I can't exactly show you all the stages that I've successfully completed, but I'll just let you know. Here we are at a Chinese public school, and this is another stage in the adventure lab that I'm doing. Okay, good news, folks. We have finished the Chinatown Adventure Lab. Well, folks, as you could probably tell, it started, and the rain is here. It is day 2. I am to get back to the mainland today. I hope. We will see. I'm gonna try to finalize 2 adventure labs that I wasn't able to complete yesterday, as well as find some traditionals. But I don't want to get too soaked, and I do want to get back to the mainland as soon as I can, because there are some heavy winds that might cancel sailings. We'll see. Geocaching in an atmospheric river can be scary, but when you actually find the geocache during the river, it makes it all the more better. We're in Beacon Hill Park right now and found a geocache that is a bit hard to know which level you're supposed to be on. I'm just gonna find it for y'all because I think I know where it is. We're just gonna go down and take a look. So Ground Zero brought me to this rock here, and well, if you look down below here, what's this? What's that? What's this weird plastic container? Sketchy, dude. So, do you remember yesterday when it was nice and sunny? Well, look at how the weather has changed. Behind me is the Juan de Fuca Strait, that is between Washington State and British Columbia, here on Vancouver Island, and yeah, this is quite the adventure. I do one of my nerdy geography lessons, but you can't really see behind me. But just trust me that Washington State's over there, and the Olympic Mountains, the Olympic Mountain Range, you'll see in that area as well. But they're kind of behind a bit of rain and fog right now. We've finished the Trans-Canada Highway Adventure Lab, the Signs of Lekwungen Adventure Lab. Really fantastic adventure lab. When you find yourself in Victoria, please do this adventure lab. It is fun. You can even do it on foot. It's a bit of a walk, but it's doable. On to the next one. So in Vancouver, a long time ago, we had peacocks in Stanley Park. Well, guess what? I don't know if these are the same peacocks, the same group of peacocks, family, whatever you want to call it, but they're here in Beacon Hill Park in Victoria, so maybe they were relocated. It's kind of neat seeing peacocks again. All right, let's list all the provinces and territories, shall we? Starting with Nunavut, Northwest Territory, Province of Newfoundland, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, beautiful British Columbia, and the Yukon Territory. That's all that we have in Canada in terms of our provincial and territorial jurisdictions. And folks, that is a wrap for this episode. I want to thank you very much for coming along on this geocaching adventure here in Victoria, British Columbia's capital city. I'm back here and it's awesome. I love coming to Victoria. Victoria is a fantastic place to look for geocaches and just a generally fun city. We did a whole bunch of adventure labs. I think for myself, I found about 50 plus adventure lab stages just walking around one particular neighborhood, the neighborhood of James Bay, just south of these Parliament buildings. So yeah, we're caching between storms right now, and so what that means is I still have to get back to the mainland, and I hope that there won't be any ferry cancellations. We're gonna find out. Well, everybody, we made it. We made it onto the ferry, and it looks like we're gonna be making it back to the mainland. So that's a good story. Fingers crossed. Still, I don't think that we're gonna be turning around, but yeah, it's a great trip.